Hello, and welcome to Sound Off with System One. I'm your host, Krista Kornchuk, and this is my co-host, Brooke Servant. We're here today with our recruiting experts to speak with you about optimizing your LinkedIn and social media. Before we get started, here are a few words about System One.
System One is a leading provider of specialized, highly technical outsourced services and workforce solutions to critical infrastructure, technology, life sciences, and government sectors, putting more than 650 employees and 9,000 contractors to work in the United States, Canada, and the UK.
As you're tuning in today, please join us in the comments. Our marketing team will be monitoring them. Let us know where you're joining from and what industry you work in. And if you have any questions relevant to today's topics, please drop them in there as well, and we'll try to answer as many as possible. And next, I'm going to have our panel introduce themselves. They're also going to be sharing their hot jobs, which you can view by scanning the QR code or visiting jobs.system1.com. Sean, we'll start with you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Sean Thibodeau, I'm a senior recruiter with Mountain Limited. We're a System One division. We focus on the engineering telecommunication industry. Of course, today's hot job for me is an outside plant inspector located in Great Falls, Montana. I actually have 3 openings in different locations. This is a long-term W-2 contract position. The pay is $45 an hour. We're looking for somebody with a strong background of aerial inspection, somebody that can kind of lead the teams and ensure that all safety needs are being done.
Hi, my name is Pamela Feldman. I am a sourcing specialist for System One, and my hot job is a talent acquisition specialist position. It's a direct hire position in East Windsor, New Jersey, with a salary ranging from $90K to $97K. Ideal candidates will have 2 to 3 years of HR experience in pharmaceutical recruiting, as well as experience recruiting in manufacturing, distribution, and production environments. Back-end experience with iSIMS is also required for this position.
Great. And as Krista said, I'm Brooke. I'll be your co-host for today. I'm the social media marketing specialist. So let's get into some questions. What are the most critical elements of a LinkedIn profile that job seekers or professionals should focus on to make a great first impression? And Sean, let's start with you.
Definitely, that's a great question. Personally, I like to make sure that you have a very professional looking picture. You know, your picture goes a long ways. It tells a story for you. You want to have a catching headline. You definitely want to highlight your skills and expertise within your LinkedIn profile, and definitely highlight achievements in positions you've held and also any accomplishments you might have had.
Yeah, and to add to that, I recommend that if you have any previous employers, coworkers, or even candidates that can give you recommendations, that always looks excellent on your profile. And of course, having your contact information, that way anybody is able to reach out to you.
Those are great points. LinkedIn is really an advanced platform that when you're on your profile, it constantly tells you which of those points that you guys talked about that are not filled out, and it'll take you through step by step to make sure you fill them out.
Awesome. And what strategies do you recommend for increasing engagement on LinkedIn posts? And are there any particular types of content that perform best? Pamela, we'll start with you.
I'd say posting consistently for regular updates, keeping your audience engaged, commenting on posts with a lot of engagement is very helpful. Using visuals, everyone likes images and is drawn to it. And just sharing insight that is and value with your industry.
Yeah, definitely. Those are great points right there. I also like to be myself. I'm kind of different than most people. You want to kind of represent yourself the way you truly are. So be yourself, have relevant, content that you're posting, something that you're passionate about, your interests. You definitely want to kind of make it very professional, but also personalized so that way people can see you. For types of content best, I focus more on what industry I'm working in. If I was searching for a job, I would focus in those industries that I would be looking for. So you definitely want to tailor it. I make sure to put news updates, anything that might be interested to people who are connected with me.
Absolutely. I'm a marketing professional, so I'm connected with a lot of marketing professionals. And what resonates with all of us are insights. So while I see what's trending, not everything applies to me. So I will look at what's trending and what applies to marketers. And typically that gets really high engagement.
Alrighty, how important is it for professionals to be active on multiple platforms? Should they have different strategies for LinkedIn versus Instagram or Twitter/X? And Pamela, let's start with you.
Sure, yeah. Having multiple platforms definitely broadens your reach for, professionals and candidates. LinkedIn is one of the biggest platforms that we have right now, and it is more of a professional focus. Instagram, they say that storytelling is, best for that, showing achievements, anything like that. Twitter, I use for quick updates and whatnot, but LinkedIn is usually what I stick to.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question. Great answer. Having multiple platforms increases your visibility. That's the main thing. If you want to stay professional, I always make sure that I'm spending as much time as I can on LinkedIn, but having a wider audience between the platforms makes you more successful in different opportunities. I would definitely leave the professional side in LinkedIn, using insights and professional buildings within your network on that platform. X and Instagram, great place to get quick articles, news updates, and staying engaged with people.
Absolutely, you guys nailed it. As we know, LinkedIn is the most beneficial for job searching. But it's also so important that on your personal profiles, like all across the platforms, to make sure that you keep a professional manner. Hiring managers and their teams do look at that. So, and it can easily be the reason you don't get hired. So keep that in mind when you're posting all over the place.
Fantastic. And it looks like we have a question from one of our viewers. How often should I post on my LinkedIn or other social media platforms to maximize engagement without overwhelming my audience? Really good question, Jackie.
I try to comment every single day on at least 3 to 4, even more, on different posts, whether it's articles or people's posts that have a lot of engagement, like I was talking about before. Posting 1 to 2 times a week is a great way to leverage your LinkedIn without being so overwhelming, but every day is also okay too.
Yeah, definitely. I would encourage doing as much as you can that you're comfortable in, because the more times you actually add content, comment, post articles, is just going to make you feel so much more relaxed that you're going to be able to build your network, and you'll allow yourself to connect with great people, especially with recruiters, with System One, things of that nature to set you up for success.
Awesome. Thank you for the question. If you have any more questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. Are there any tips on how to effectively network on social media, especially when reaching out to people that you don't know personally? Sean, we'll start with you.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great question because everybody stumbles on that. A lot of people ask me this question. I try to keep my outreach very personalized. If I'm trying to be, connect with somebody, I want to have a very invited message. I want to be genuine. I want to be who I am at all times. I'm not trying to have two different stories to my life. I just want to keep it as real as possible, and definitely be mindful of people's times. That's a big thing.
Yeah, definitely adding on to that, whenever I try connecting with someone that I don't know, I definitely, just like Sean just said, I personalize my connection requests. I like to make sure that they know I'm just not, a random connection. I genuinely want to engage with their postings, and them as a, person. Engaging with their content also shows that I truly am interested in what they're all about, and following up with people that I connect with frequently.
Absolutely. And while I think personalization is important, I always make an effort to keep it quick and to the point. When I get a super long LinkedIn message, I don't always want to read the whole thing. I tend to gloss over it. So just make your intentions known from the get-go, and you'll probably have a higher chance of them connecting with you.
All right, for our next question, let's start again with Pamela. What are some ways to establish yourself as a thought leader or industry expert on LinkedIn?
Again, being original and personalized, sharing original content. Maybe you're sharing some articles or posts reflecting on your insights. Even things like this, hosting webinars, live sessions, sharing your expertise in real time, and maybe even collaborating with other experts in your industry.
Yeah, definitely. Optimize your profile. You want to definitely define your niche. And when I say that is you don't want to be too vague. You definitely want to be focused in what you're looking for. If you're a recruiter, you kind of what you're selling. If you're a job searcher, definitely what you're looking for the opportunities out there. You want to be as active with your network as possible. Networking is 95% of the battle nowadays, especially if you're looking for a job. You want to network, connect with recruiters. Definitely taking part in live streaming events like this. If the opportunity attends for trainings or seminars, definitely get yourself involved in those.
Yeah, those are perfect. And you two have certainly done a great job at establishing yourself. So if people want a good example, head on over to their pages. I'll also add staying consistent is key. No matter what you find to be your comfort zone, just keep it consistent. Like if you like making your own content, create a calendar to keep doing it. And if you like collaborative articles, set a goal to comment on like 3 a week. Whatever your comfort level is, just keep it consistent.
Absolutely. And how can you remain authentic while still optimizing your profile and content to appeal to a broad audience? Sean, we'll start with you.
Oh, that's a great question. I would definitely kind of ensure you tailor, your content to resonate with the different segments of your target audience that you're looking for. Still expressing your unique personalities, your perspectives, but definitely you want to make sure you're, reaching to everybody as possible that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Just that was perfect, Sean. Just adding on, maybe just even posting some failures as well as success. People like the authenticness of your posts, and just knowing that being transparent really helps gain an audience.
Absolutely. And I do like to look at what's trending. I'm in marketing, so I can't help myself, but I do not utilize that type of content if it doesn't apply to me and if it doesn't apply to my audience, or else it's inauthentic. We had another good question come in. I'm going to pull it up. How can I leverage AI generated content to enhance my own social media presence? I love that question.
I definitely use AI to help me when it comes to my posts, sometimes even comments on social media, just whether it's coming up with a post or better understanding what a question is asking. I always use AI to help me enhance my social media and making cooler, more engaging posts.
Definitely. And I think it's super important not to rely on it. Do not copy and paste directly from ChatGPT. Humans do not like to read purely AI generated content. Just evolve with it.
All right. How about seeing results? How do you guys measure the success of your LinkedIn and social media efforts? Are there specific metrics that you focus on? And let's start with Sean.
Oh, definitely. Typically, you can use, new connections, likes, comments and shares are all things you can kind of use for you to be measurable. Personally, I just try to be real to myself. If people like it, great. If people don't, so be it. I'm representing myself, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm getting the word out there and spreading whatever the industry news is. And that's how I operate.
Absolutely. Checking engagement metrics, connections show you, your growth on your followers over time. That's very helpful. Seeing profile viewers, I always like to take a look and see if there's anyone new checking out my profile and engaging with them if they are.
Yeah, and everyone has a different goal on social media, so those answers are great for what you guys are looking for. And I always tell people to look at impressions and engagement rate. I believe those are the most accurate big picture of whether or not like a single post did well or not.
Fantastic. We have another viewer question. I really like this question. Aaron is asking, should I effectively tag individuals or companies in my posts to boost more engagement? Great question, Aaron.
Oh, most definitely. That's the best way to kind of build your network also, because it's allowing you to make sure you're engaged in the discussion. It allows you to see who else might be connected with that individual, especially if you're trying to grow your network or if you're looking for a new opportunity. They might be connected with somebody that's working at an organization that you're really interested in.
Absolutely. And just, even for yourself, when you see someone tag you in a post, you like to repost it yourself. It's a great way for everyone to be able to get some content out there.
Yeah, one thing on this, engagement is what LinkedIn loves. It wants people to have meaningful conversations and talk to each other and think through things with each other. But you want to make sure that you don't come off spammy. So while you absolutely want to tag companies and anyone that's in the post or anyone that you want to see the post, you don't want to do it too much if those people aren't responding to your post, because then LinkedIn will think, this person is possibly spam content, and they're going to hide that post. So just be mindful of that.
Definitely. And don't be afraid to reach out personally to someone you tag. So you're really being proactive and making sure that your content is not viewed as spam. And our next question, what are some of the best ways to grow a following on LinkedIn and social media? Are there tools or strategies that can help with this? Pamela, we'll start with you.
Like I said earlier, engaging regularly is a great way to grow following. The only way to grow following is constantly posting. People want to see what you're putting out there, sharing quality content, focusing on valuable and relevant information, and just networking in general constantly. Make sure that you're connecting with industry leaders and engaging with their content.
I think you almost answered that whole question. The only thing different I would add is that is great info, but depending on what kind of group you're looking to be or work into, definitely I would highlight joining groups. I'm in the telecom industry. I have a lot of groups that I'm joined with. I'm getting a lot of great information and content about the telecom communication industry. So those are another way to make sure you're growing your network. Plus, you're having a chance to see what's the latest and greatest news out there that's being posted.
Yeah, those are perfect. I also want to note too that LinkedIn kind of has a recipe for this. So it can be found under your analytics and tools section, and it's called Weekly Tracker. So they suggest that you do one post plus one comment plus one contribution to an article a week. So that's one thing that you write and post to your personal profile, one comment on someone else's post, and then one contribution to a collaborative article. That's only 3 things in a 7-day week. If you can get that going, then that will grow your searchability and that will boost your overall profile and make your LinkedIn experience so much more beneficial. Alrighty. And for professionals who struggle with creating content, do you have any go-to ideas or types of posts that can help them get started? Sean, let's start with you.
Definitely. If you're kind of struggling, one of the best things to do is kind of see what else is out there on social media. There's nothing wrong with looking at other people's posts. I use competitor posts. I look at what other people are talking about in the industry. What sells me different than others is what I'm trying to focus in on so I can share the great news of System 1 and Mount Limited. Um, Seeing other people's posts on LinkedIn and other platforms of interest is going to help you. You can always, Google search what you want to look for and speak with others within your company, within your team, also within your network that might have some ideas for you to do some posting.
Absolutely. Sometimes if I don't know what to post, I will ask Chat AI for an idea. And then I remember that we have polls that you could do fun things with that, where you're asking engaging questions and opinions of others and they can interact in a fun way, or just being personal with stories. Obviously, you don't want your LinkedIn to be completely personalized and strictly just on your life, but it's nice sometimes to see that you're actually human and have things going on.
Those are perfect. And let me just emphasize that and plug AI one more time, because ChatGPT, Cloud, anything that you like is your best friend when it comes to creating content. For example, if you work in the telecom industry, you can type in what are 3 posts I can make to engage my audience, and it'll start creating and help you just go from there.
Absolutely. And we have another question from one of our viewers. Ferris is asking, is it okay to send a LinkedIn message for a hiring manager who is listing a job that I am interested in? Recruiters would love to see what you have to say about this.
I say, yeah, go for it. If a hiring manager is posting a job, it's always worth putting yourself out there, commenting and showing interest. Also following the appropriate steps to apply that it shows in the guidelines, but putting yourself out there is never a bad thing.
That's a great question, Ferris. That's a tough one. Depending on who the person is, they might take it the right way, they might take it the wrong way. Encourage you to connect with a recruiter that you're working with that specific hiring manager. I have a lot of people that do some interviews, sending a friendly, note after an interview to the hiring manager. I encourage that. But that initial message, you might want to just talk to the recruiter you're working with and see what their thoughts are. I would say probably 95% of the hiring managers I'm working with would have no issue with it. But there might be that one person that might be offended because they're not used to, or you might be coming across as spammy because they might not have talked to you yet.
Yeah, that's some great insight. It's always going to depend on who you're reaching out to. We are out of time for today, but thank you to our panel and thank you for everyone that commented. Don't forget to follow System 1 on LinkedIn if you're not already, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can view past episodes of Sound Off with System 1. Make sure you tune in every first and third Friday at 2 p.m. for more job seeker topics. Our next Sound Off with System 1 live stream will be Friday, November 15th at 2 p.m. and we'll be having a live job seeker Q&A. See you then.
Thank you.